officer, y'all. He can tell that something's off with her. I said, she ain't gonna be able to keep lying. He got Von, y'all, because he was with Josh. I want to know what he doing with him. Josh finna be upset. Lucas knows that Marco still blames Sonny for Natalia's death. Dante ends up visiting Rocco. Turner knows that Dalton is missing. Laura wants to come forward. Jason still kissing Britt butt. Josh and Von was laid up together again. Carly apologized to Josh, and the last thing is that Rocco got beat up. But hey, y'all, welcome back to another. Hold on, let me turn this up. Welcome back to another review of Life of Chesses for General Hospital, November 24th, 2025. First things first. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. What y'all think? Did y'all like the episode? It was okay. It was okay. I think Drew's probably proposing to Willow on tomorrow's episode. I said, how many times this man do it? This is third time? Isn't this the third time he done proposed to this girl? I don't know. But yeah, he's supposed to be proposed to on tomorrow's episode, y'all. So they back. They back again. They said Mark is supposed to be enraged. So I don't know if he gonna find out about Chase investigating him. I don't know if he gonna be enraged about the whole Willow situation. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, where do we start? I guess with Carly and Brendan. So they showed her she was laid up with the traitor. She was laid up with Brendan or whatever, and you could tell something was wrong with her. You could tell, and he knew it. He knew it. He ends up asking her what's going on because he could tell something's off. She tried to cover it up like, oh, it's because of Jocelyn. So they end up talking about Jocelyn and Lucas or whatever, and how they had a big disagreement or whatever. And she wants to know how he feels about it. So he ends up telling her to fix things with Josh and Lucas or whatever. And how, Lucas deserved it. Just over here lying to the good. And I said, a lie ain't nothing for him to tell. I said, it's like he shows that he don't regret nothing. Because he's serving his own purpose. He's serving his own purpose. And I said, look, he the prime example of how people will lie in your face not knowing that you know the truth. And he just keep lying. What they say, if you tell one lie, you gotta tell more lies to cover up the first lie. And he just keep lying. And she just be looking at him or whatever. She was like, she finna go get the food. That's when he ends up telling her how he had a meeting. And then next know he was talking to Vaughn, and Vaughn, he got Vaughn. And I was like, so did he get arrested? Is he about to escort him to another? Didn't he say he was gonna reassign them or something? I said, well, when he finds out about Josh, well, he don't know. Josh don't know that they know yet. She doesn't know. I was like, he probably gonna send Josh out the country or somewhere else too. Probably is, but yeah. Then what he said? What did he say? What did he say on today's episode? He said something. Did he say something about endangering Josh? I don't know what he said, but I was like, you wanted to talk. It was something he said, and I was like, you definitely want to talk. But yeah, Carly, she having a hard time hiding how she feels, and he could tell. He could tell that something's off or whatever. But yeah, she was laid up with this man, this traitor. Elizabeth and Lucas was talking about Marco. She wanted to know how his night went. Now, at first, he was like, it started out good, and then it went left or whatever. So I'm like, okay, did he hear, was they there when he shot Dalton? I said, well, did he hear it? I think he heard something. No, he's still talking about the whole Sonny situation, how he could tell that Marco still blames Sonny for Natalia's death. He don't think that Sonny was responsible, even though Marco has his reasons for not liking it or whatever. So Elizabeth basically was encouraging him not to get involved, to support Lucas or whatever, but stay out of it because he got so many people, so many family members that are connected to Sonny or whatever. And I said, exactly. Then when you find out what he been up to, how you gonna feel? Look, they all lie. They all lie and do stuff just like Laura over here. I was like, Laura, y'all did. I feel like they made it worse too. She was like, did we make it worse? Y'all definitely made it worse. And not only that, I was like, they could have just flipped it upon but if they connected all the dots, because Britt over here lying, she would have told Jason the truth. Jason then would have connected all the dots together, and then they would have figured out how to flip it back up on Sewell or whatever. But no, I do think they made, because I was like, didn't they have a, look, I don't know, y'all. I thought they both had an alibi. So maybe Laura was right. But yeah, I think we finished with Elizabeth and Lucas. Dante and Rocco. Excuse me. Dante ends up visiting Rocco. And I was like, Rocco wasn't beat up when Dante came, was he? He wasn't, was he? But yeah, he visited him, and he was just trying to encourage him, let him know that everything's going to be okay. They're working on getting him released. How they don't think that he's going to be home for Thanksgiving or whatever. I think that's all they was talking about how they trying to flip it up on Dawson and prove that, he set Rocco up, and how Danny and Charlotte want to come forward. And he was saying how he don't want them to come forward. And he was like, this isn't just, the regular charges that they was going to do at first. These are serious or whatever. And I was like, I don't know. Do y'all think this going to backfire on Charlotte and Danny? Let me know. Well, yeah, that's all that happened with them. Turner ends up talking to Nathan, saying Dalton didn't show, so she sent him to go look for him. He went to the house. He didn't see him either, or whatever. And they were saying how he has the resource to disappear. Dante ends up going to tell Laura, and I said she knows, she definitely knows. But yeah, did they say, what did they say? Did they say Nathan's supposed to make a discovery? They said something about Nathan this week, y'all, but they ain't showing it. I think tomorrow is the only episode, if I'm not mistaken, that they gonna show. I think Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, or either just Thursday and Friday. It might just be Thursday and Friday where they not gonna air it or whatever. I forgot to say that on the Bold and Beautiful. But yeah, let's see. Next we got Laura, Sonny, Martin. So Sonny ends up updating Laura about Dawson and stuff like that, and she was just freaking out and she having regrets. And I was like, I said it's crazy though, because like you didn't have to get him involved. Why was he? I mean, I know why he was the first person you thought to call. Well, not the first person, because she did try to call Alexis as well. She was debating about calling Kevin, but she was like he couldn't do nothing. But why is he even like? If you didn't want to associate yourself, you know what he gonna do. You know what they was gonna do. I was like, they always pick and choose when they want to be mad and when they want to seek out something. Told y'all they be doing that stuff. Told y'all they be doing that stuff. But yeah, she was like, maybe I want you to get the body. She want him to get the body and put it back in the truck or whatever, and come forward. He was like, that's not gonna work because Nathan was there. He knows. She was like, she wasn't gonna tell them that Sonny was involved. He's like, that's not gonna work. You gonna open us up both of us to charges because Nathan was there. He seen me helping you or whatever, so he's gonna know. He's gonna connect the dots. And I said, exactly. You shouldn't have helped. You should have stayed out of it. Look, they gonna have to get Sewell. I don't know what type of monster Sonny is, because tell my son he don't want to hurt the people close to him and all. Forget that. This the one time you should be handling this man. So what the word going on? I told y'all fake mobster want to be tail. I was like, what type? The mobster ain't supposed to care about nobody's feelings. That's a Sonny, little slippy tail. But yeah, so they were just debating about what to do, and he trying to tell her you can't just go put the body back and stuff like that. The best thing for Rocco and all of them is if Dalton disappears and stuff. That's when Martin came in. He was about to congratulate her about winning the election, and he felt some type of way because Sonny was there. They started arguing about the whole Tracy situation, the will, the fact that he changed it, and he warned her that Sewell not gonna want to back down now that he done lost the whole Metro C situation. Was I saying Schedule C at first? But the Metro C situation, he's gonna want to come after Sonny and Laura or whatever. I said too late. I said too little, too late. Now when they gonna make a move? When is they I'm waiting on Sonny and them to make a move at this point. But yeah, Martin was just warning her and stuff like that, trying to get her to see that Sonny this and that. And she was like, she know that if she ever in trouble, she could call Sonny. And that's when Dante came in saying that Dawson had disappeared. What else? Let's see. Britt and Jason, he back to kissing her butt, still trying to beg her. He came there. He was like, he want to fix things with them, and she was like, no, you had an opportunity last night and you left like you always do. And I was like, girl. And he gonna prove to her that he could be trusted. If you ain't showed this girl that you could be trusted by now, you don't repeatedly save her life. You don't showed up for her. You came back when you ain't got you shouldn't. And she withholding information. He was like, he know that she's connected to Dalton and all this other stuff. And he just steady trying to get this girl to open up, and she's still lying and stuff. Nathan ended up showing up to my son, something about how you seen Dalton or whatever. He disappeared, and then I was like, how did he know that? Does he know that she was working in the lab with him? Like, I don't know. How did he know? Was he talking to her? Or was he talking to Jason? Was he talking to her? Or was he talking to Jason? Because she said she hadn't seen him. Ain't that what she said? How did he know that they was connected? Like, I don't know, y'all. It's a whole lot of little things that's not making sense. Like, who's in charge? Some people were saying they think Brennan is further involved than he let know. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. I definitely can. Then I can see it being somebody from the past or whatever. But I don't know. Like I said, he was like, he gonna show, and the last thing was Nathan coming. Carly and Josh, they end up running into each other outside of GH or whatever. Y'all see, they film it everywhere in different places and stuff. I said, I like that. But yeah, Carly ends up apologizing to Josh for how she acted. She still don't think she was wrong about the whole Lucas Marco situation, and they were still going back and forth about that. And she wanted to go talk to Lucas, and Josh was like, no, let him, figure things out and stuff like that, because you can't ambush him at work. And I was like, Josh. I want to know how she's gonna react when she find out what Brennan did to Vaughn. But yeah, Sonny goes to visit Rocco, and they beat him up. They done beat him up, and he was questioning him about what happened and stuff. He's supposed to be telling Turner, either you get him out or I will. And I said, how you gonna do that, Sonny? I said, how you supposed to do that, Sonny? But yeah, they don't beat him up. He was questioning him about who did it. He was like, he don't want to tell and all this other. I said, Rocky, you gonna get enough. He don't never want to tell nothing. I said, this ain't the time. I said, you better. He like, he don't want to hide behind Sonny's name and stuff. I said, this the one time you need to. This the one time you better take a page out your grandmama book. But yeah, and the last thing is Brandon and Vaughn. Vaughn still talking crazy. He don't let Josh. Look, I skipped over Josh and Vaughn, didn't I? They were just laid up and they were just talking about Lucas. She was like, she was mad because she feels like she should be able to warn Lucas, but she's not gonna say nothing. Vaughn ends up telling her how if it comes to a point where we need to get Lucas out of there, you know, we could do that. We could do that. I'd do anything for you. I know you'll do anything for Lucas, and I'll do anything for you. And he don't got. He don't got. But yeah, the meeting was with Vaughn. Brandon had a meeting with Vaughn. They end up talking or whatever, and I think was they talking about the whole look. He's still talking about. He ends up filling them in about Dalton, about how Josh got information and stuff like that. And you could tell that Brandon knew because he was like, "What happened after the whole Dalton situation?" He was like, "I stuck around and stuff like that." And he was asking him. I said, "He know the reason he asking you is because he know he's still standing up that line." Then he talking about how it's dangerous for Jocelyn and stuff like that. I said, "You know, do you know who you talking to? This man don't care. He do not care." So next thing you know, dudes come up behind Vaughn, they grab him and stuff like that. And he's like, this is what happened when you basically double crossed him or whatever. This is what happened when, let me see. I think he did say double cross or whatever. Because he pursued Josh and he was mad about that. And I was like, I want to know how Josh gonna react now. Is she gonna fess up and tell everything? Is she gonna tell somebody everything? I mean, might as well at this point, because Carly know, Jason know, these people know. Might as well go on tell everything, because he gonna try to get rid of you next. Especially when he find out what Carly up here doing and stuff. Well, yeah, that's it. I think that's everything, y'all. Let me see. I already said Martin said Sylvia gonna make Sonny and Laura pay. Dante tells Laura Dalton has gone missing. Nathan asks Britt has she seen Dalton. Dante wants to find Dalton because he got to pay for setting up his son. That's it. That's all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the day and be safe.